Hare Krishna. So today we'll be discussing on the topic of how the dynasty of Sun was amalgamated with the dynasty of the Moon God, and why we should be very, very careful in worshipping the demigods, thinking them to be all in all. Now, to understand this very unique pastimes, it is mentioned in the towards the end of the eighth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and the starting of the ninth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, with the dynasties of Manu being mentioned. This particular reference is from the reference of the current Manu that we have, which is Chakshushan, which is after Chakshushan Manu, that is Shraddhadev Manu. So during the reign of Chakshushan Manu, towards the end, there lived a king by the name King Satyavrat, Maharaj Satyavrat. He was a very pious king and dedicated to Lord Vishnu, and he performed great austerity to satisfy Lord Vishnu and get his favor. And Lord Vishnu also created an inundation of the material world, although it was not the end of Chakrashamanu, it was happening in between. And at that time, um, the Lord instructed in his Matsya avatar, incarnation of fish, to this Satyavrat, King Satyavrat, that he should make a big boat. The inundation is going to take place in 7 days' time, and he should accompany himself with the Sapta Rishis, seven rishis of the world, and get all the vanaspatis, fruits, vegetables, and everything, because there will be inundation. And at that time, Lord said that I'll be coming as Matsya Avatar, and I'll have a big horn on my fish incarnation. And it is this whereby you can tie your boat and anchor it on my horn, and I'll take you to safety, don't worry. At the time, he also instructed King Satyavrat about life, material world, and spiritual world. The same Satyavrat, in his next birth, he became the son of sun god Vivasvan. And as sun god Vivasvan's son, he was also called Vaivasvata, and he became the Manu, became the next Manu. So he is also which is the current Manu, the seventh Manu, which we are living in. And he's also called Shraddhadev Manu. Now, as we understand that this particular Manu is which we are living in, seventh Manu, we are on the 28th Yuga cycle, and we are in towards the end of the 28th Yuga cycle in the Kali Yuga. And Lord Krishna appeared towards the end of the Dwapar Yuga, of the same Yuga cycle. So all this has happened here in this particular Manu of Shraddhadev Satyavrat. So what had happened was that Shraddhadev Manu, in the description which has been given, it was mentioned that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Brahma, is born from the navel of the Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead, Gavadakshaya Vishnu. From Brahma, Marichi is born, his son Marichi. And from his son Marichi, Kashyap Muni is born. Kashyap Muni has his son. Through his wife Aditi, they beget a son, they get many sons, among them one is Vivasvan. Vivasvan is the sun god, who in turn um, uh, begets Shraddhadev Manu. Now, Shraddhadev Manu, from his wife, the womb of his wife Samgna, he begetted 10 sons, including Ikshvaku and Nruga. But this is before that, where before Ikshvaku and Nruga were born, initially Shraddhadev Manu, Vaivasvat Manu, he did not have any sons or children. So, through his guru, the priest of the family, Vashishta Muni, They requested him, and Guru Vasishtha uh, performed a yagna to satisfy demigods Mitra and Varuna for um, the Manu to beget a child, a son. He wanted a son. Now it so happened that his wife, Manu's wife, Shraddha, wanted a girl. So the priest who was doing the hotra, she went and told him, say, please, when you put the hotra oblations in request for the benediction, request for the daughter. So here, Manu wanted a son. The wife privately told to this priest to ask for a daughter. So when the hotram performance happened, that priest, following the orders of his wife, of the wife of Manu, actually requested for the daughter. And that's how a daughter was born. Beautiful girl child was born. Shraddha Manu did not have any children. So he was very happy to receive the daughter and gave her the name Ila. As he, uh, but very soon, his fondness, his enjoyment was short-lived because he wanted a son. So he told sage Vasishtha and all the other priests there that you are such powerful personalities. How come you have made this mistake? I wanted a son, we got a child, we've got a girl now. So he was a little morose, he was not happy about this. So Vasishtha Muni, realizing what had happened, his wife requesting the priest to have a daughter, and so the priest asked for the daughter, and the daughter came. He understood the whole thing. He said, "Don't worry. I promise you, I'll get you a son. Don't worry. I know what has happened." So he in turn prayed to Lord Vishnu, and he could get the power with the benediction of Lord Vishnu. He could change the linga, the sex of the girl of Ila, from girl into boy, and and that is how he begetted a boy, a son, whose name was Sudyumna. Now Sudyumna was a very beautiful man, very powerful, chivalrous. And once, while he became young, and as he was traveling once with his uh, ministers and companions, and he was riding a particular horse, which was given to him. It was from Sindhu Desh, So they, while going in the forest hunting animals, he entered into a very beautiful but very mystical forest on the foothills of Mount Meru, Mount Sumeru. This forest is known as Sukumar forest. As soon as he entered the forest, though, along with his entourage, horses and all, suddenly they were astonished to see that their linga, their sex changed automatically. He became a girl, a woman. His horse became a mare, a female. All his ministers became female. They became very morose. What's going on? They looked at each other, looking at each other in amazement. At the same time, very, very disappointed, very sad. They couldn't do anything about it. The sex was changed. In that mood, bereavement, they had no other option. There, again, Sudyumna became Ela. He was born with as a girl. Very beautiful, very extremely beautiful looking girl. So because now she is a girl, he became she became a girl. And from the Surya dynasty, Sun dynasty. So she now, Ela, got into contact with the son of Moon dynasty called Buddha. Buddha saw her, she saw him. They fell in love, there was a lot of attraction between them. And through their association, this Ela, the girl, gave birth to a son. The son became the first son, eldest son, called Pururava. She became his wife of Buddha. Now Buddha is the same because he's the son of Moon. Buddha is Mercury. And Buddha is Budhvar also. You see? Now, there is not much of a reference given in the Bhagavatam about this. But in other Puran, Devi Puran and all, we will be a little careful about these references. But the pastime goes this way. What happened was how Buddha was born from Moon, Som. Som, Moon God, as a Deva, he became attracted once to a woman who is Guru Patni, Bruhaspati's wife. Just see. So he took her to him. Now there are different references, whether she came on her own, he took her, etc. Bruhaspati became very upset. He wanted his wife back. He was with her. She was with her for a long time. And there was a war. So here, all the devas supported Bruhaspati, their guru, including Lord Shiva, against a fight with Moon. And the Moon was supported by Soma, was supported by all the demons. And ultimately Lord Brahma had to intervene and said, please, you've done wrong, Moon, Soma. You please give back the wife. So the wife was given back to Bruhaspati, sage Bruhaspati. And they found out that she was pregnant. And she would not name who the father is. You see, the woman knows who is the father of the child she is bearing. Out of a lot of requests, she did not say the name. At last she said it was Moon. The father is the Moon. Because both Bruhaspati and Soma were claiming to be father. She said it's Moon. That's how Buddha was born. And Buddha is the son of Moon. This is a little bit of story behind it. So we have to be very careful worshipping Moon or any other devas. Because you see what is the moral values there. And also we have to be very careful that even if we go to higher planets after our death, the next birth, we may have a lot of enjoyment there. But love of God is missing. It will be very, very hard in all this enjoyment. What is abominable on Earth's planet is also abominable in Moon planet, but still it was different. You can enjoy there. So worshipping demigods, we have to be very careful. There is a point that we have to understand. Now, here, when the time when Sudyumna, along with his entourage, became women in the forest, hearing this, King Parikshit became very anxious. He wanted to know from Shukdev Goswami, how did this happen? So it's a little confidential pastime. Very briefly it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam that once there were great sages, very self-effulgent sages. They were wanting to meet Lord Shiva in his abode. So they were going to this particular forest. Sumeru, this Lord Shiva's abode there in this forest. It's a very private forest. He along with Goddess Durga were enjoying the pastimes there. She was sitting on his lap and she was completely naked. And the sages entered and they saw this situation. Immediately they stopped there and they turned themselves away and they went to meet Nar Narayan Rishi. So Nar Narayan Rishi ashram. Seeing this, Goddess Durga covered her top portion and feeling very embarrassed. Lord Shiva could understand. That's why he said, okay, my dear wife, do not worry. I put this element in this material in this forest, this value, this quality that anyone who enters in this forest will change the linga to female. So there is nothing for you to worry. They're female. That's how when the son of Vaivasvata Manu, Shadadev Manu, Sudyumna, entered that forest, he changed his ling with his horse and everyone else around him. That is the point. So now, as going back to this past time where Sudyumna changed to Ila from her form and married or had begetted Pururava, son from the Moon Dynasty of Buddha. This is how the Sun Dynasty and Moon Dynasty were combined here. Now she was very morose. She said, I'm supposed to be the monarch, son of Manu, ruling so much kingdom, so many planets in the universe. A woman, I can't do it. He was very morose. Seeing this situation, Guru Vasishtha, he prayed to Lord Shiva. So in the Bhagavatam it is mentioned he prayed to Lord Shankara. There's also Lord Shiva. There's a particular form of Shankara, Shiva, and Sadashiva. So, what Shankar said, I'm pleased with your prayers, with meditation. He said to Guru Vasishtha, but I have given my promise to my wife, Goddess Durga. So, I cannot break that promise. But I'll do one thing, he said, to satisfy you too, for your disciple. I'll give a benediction by which Ila can become Sudyumna, male, full male, for 1 month. And the next month, he again resumes his female form. And then again male, again female. This is how every alternate month he becomes a male, and every alternate month he becomes a female. Now just see, even at the higher planets, for Manu's son, suffering so much. Imagine this if we had to be suffering like this. Male for 1 month, female for next month. And with female, she had attraction to Buddha and had a child from her womb. How complicated things are. So this material world, whether we live in the lower planetary system, hellish planet, or higher planetary system of Swargalok and all, there's always problems. Just see the situation of Sudyumna. And who is he? His father was saved by Lord Vishnu himself as Matsya Avatar. So we have to be very, very careful in our life. Anything is just around the corner, good situation or bad situation. So we have to be very, very careful about this. And we should worship, instead of the demigods, only Krishna. So that we don't want to come back to this material world. It's very, very dangerous. So here, this personality, such a good personality, Sudyumna. Male 1 month, female 1 month. Now this, he regained back his kingdom because he was a male for 1 month. But the population, the general population was not happy. They said, what is this, man? There's 1 month male, 1 month female. As female, he could not run. And a child also, Sukumar. And as a male, He also begot children from his wife. Three children, three sons. Utkal, Gaya, Vimala. Three. And they were very, very good sons. Very nice. And they also are ruling over in the northern part of the universe. This is all the current situation happening in our current Manu. And we are on the 28th, as I said, 20th Yuga cycle, towards the end, in the Kali Yuga, and which is in the 51st year of Brahma. So Brahma has just turned 51st. On the first day of 51st year of Brahma, and we are around 11:45, just before midday. That is the time exactly what we are, and we are discussing this. By the excellent College Maharshi of Srila Prabhupada. So this is how, through Sudyumna, Vaivasvata Manu, Shadadev Manu, or Vaivasvata Manu, his son became a daughter, a girl, and a man. And through the girl, married Buddha, the son of Moon, begot a child called Sukumar. Moon dynasty comes in. And he also had sons, three sons, Sura dynasty coming in. And when he became old enough, it is mentioned, his age of 50, he went to, as for Vanaprastha, went to the forest and gave the whole kingdom to Sukumar. The son he begot, where as a woman, as a female form, because that was the first child, first son. And the other three sons were later on, so they were younger to him. So this is how the dynasties of sun god and moon god, Vaivasvata and Soma, were amalgamated. And this is how we have to understand these complications in this material world is immense. And we should never ever pray or wish to come to this material world. This birth should be the last birth, as Srila Prabhupada, the founder of ISKCON, always insists and requests all living beings to do so. Thank you very much. I hope this will clarify a few points to all of you. If you have any questions, you can write in the comments. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Grantaraj Srimad Bhāgavatam ki Jai.